Let's take a moment to be honest with ourselves. How many times have you picked up your phone today, not to call someone or even to check the weather, but to scroll? Just scroll. Maybe it started with a notification or a quick peek at your feed, but 20 minutes later, you're still there. Eyes glazed, thumb moving, mind buzzing. We live in a time when social media has become our default escape. It's the first thing we check when we wake up, the last thing we see before we sleep, on the invisible companion walking beside us throughout the day. But the truth is, it's not just a harmless habit. Social media, for all its perks, has quietly evolved into one of the most potent traps of the modern age. Let's break that down. At its core, social media isn't really social anymore. It's curated, polished, optimized for perfection. What we see is a constant barrage of filtered snapshots, highlight reels, and carefully crafted personas. Everyone seems to be doing better, living better, looking better, and even when we know it's just the surface, it's hard not to internalize it. That's the trap. You might recognize it as FOMO, the fear of missing out. But it's more than just that. It's this creeping sense that your life isn't measuring up, that while you're doing laundry or eating leftovers, someone else is sailing through the Greek islands, crushing it in their startup, or somehow balancing yoga, parenting, and a six-figure business, all while glowing like a human Pinterest board. This feeling of inadequacy isn't accidental. Social media platforms are designed to keep us hooked. Every like, comment, and notification triggers a hit of dopamine. It's a digital slot machine, one that rewards us randomly, just enough to keep us pulling the lever. And the more we engage, the more these platforms learn about us. They feed us content that confirms our fears, fuels our envy, and deepens our dependency. Now think about that for a moment. We've created, or rather, allowed ourselves to be absorbed into, a system that profits from our attention, even if it costs us our peace of mind. And when we compare our everyday lives to the highlight reels of others, it's easy to slip into negative self-talk. Why am I not as successful? Why don't I look like that? Why am I not doing more, being more? That quiet voice, the one whispering that you're not enough, doesn't come from within. It's shaped by every scroll, every side-by-side comparison, every influencer's effortless morning routine that doesn't show the struggle behind the scenes. The result? A generation of people who feel more connected online than ever before and more disconnected from themselves in real life. This isn't just affecting teenagers. Adults, parents, professionals, even retirees are caught in this cycle too. We seek validation through likes, measure our worth by engagement, and feel uneasy if we're not posting enough or staying relevant. We've normalized a culture where performance is constant and authenticity feels risky. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. Acknowledging the trap is the first step toward freedom, because once you see the system for what it is, a business model built on attention and comparison, you can start reclaiming your time, your focus, and your sense of self. And this is where ancient wisdom has something powerful to offer us. In the chaos of likes, reels, and infinite scrolls, the voice of Stoicism rings clearer than ever. The Stoics lived centuries ago, but their core teachings are timeless, especially in this digital age. They teach us that peace comes not from external validation, but from mastering the inner world. That we can't control what others post or what trends dominate the algorithm, but we can control how we respond. In the next section, we'll explore how Stoic philosophy, built on resilience, perspective, and inner strength, can offer us a roadmap out of this trap. Because in a world where everything is designed to keep you reactive, being intentional might just be the most radical act of all. Okay, so we've seen the trap. Now let's talk about the tools to break free. And no, you don't need the latest app or a 12-step program. You need timeless philosophy, Stoicism. Picture ancient thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca dealing with their own storms. Their world had wars, plagues, political chaos, not so different from our digital overload. At its heart, Stoicism teaches one simple but revolutionary idea. Distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. When it comes to social media, you cannot control the endless scroll, the perfect photos, or the way platforms hook you in, but you can control your reaction to it. You can choose where to focus your attention and how much power you give those red notification bubbles. First principle, control what you can. Imagine you're at a crowded party. You can't stop other people from talking or from checking their phones, but you can decide, will I join their conversation or step aside and enjoy my own moment? Similarly, online, you don't have to engage with every post, tweet, or comment. You decide when to look and when to close the app. Second principle, focus on what's in your power. Stoics call this your circle of influence. Inside that circle sits your thoughts, your choices, your actions. Everything else, other people's likes, algorithm changes, viral trends, lies outside. When you shift focus inward, you reclaim your energy. Instead of wasting time stewing over why someone didn't like your post, you channel effort into something you can shape, your own behavior, your own values. Third principle, practice gratitude. Yes, gratitude, it sounds cliche, but the Stoics actually framed it as a strategic exercise. Seneca advised reflecting each day on the good things in life, even the small ones. A friend's message, a sunny morning, a moment of laughter. In the digital age, when feeds constantly remind us of what we lack, a daily gratitude pause rewires your mind. You start seeing abundance instead of scarcity. Let's put these into action. Morning mindset check. Before you dive into your phone, take a minute. Close your eyes, breathe. Remind yourself, I control my mind. I choose what to let in. This tiny ritual sets the tone for the day. Intentional scrolling. Treat social media like a buffet, not a feeding frenzy. Ask, is this nourishing my mind? If it's negativity, comparison, or fear-mongering, scroll past, or better yet, unfollow. Curate your feed like you curate your inner world. Evening gratitude review. At night, jot down 3 things you're grateful for, offline and online. Maybe a helpful comment you received, or a post that genuinely taught you something. This refocuses your lens toward positivity and growth. What we're doing here is building mental muscles. Stoicism isn't a quick fix, it's daily training. Over time, you'll notice a shift. You feel less reactive. That ping of a notification no longer hijacks your mood. You scroll with purpose, not with habit. And here's the beauty. The more you practice, the more you realize how little control the outside world really has over your inner calm. Your values, integrity, wisdom, courage, justice, these sit at the core of Stoic thought. They become your anchor when the digital storm rages. So next time you find yourself reaching for your phone out of boredom, anxiety, or habit, pause. Ask, am I in control right now? And remember the Stoic promise. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Music swells gently, then fades into a lighter, hopeful tone. You've learned to center yourself, to recognize that you hold the power over your reactions. Now let's take it one step further. Let's talk about what you let in. Because in this digital world, Your peace of mind is constantly up for negotiation. And whether you know it or not, your attention is the most valuable currency out there. Social media isn't just a mirror, it's a filter, a highly engineered one. And unless you're careful, you'll only see the versions of life that are curated to keep you watching, comparing, and scrolling. But here's the Stoic twist. You don't have to accept everything you're shown. You can choose what enters your mental space. This is where mindful consumption comes in. First step, curate your feed. Think of your social media like a garden. If you let weeds grow, accounts that promote envy, drama, or self-doubt, they'll take over. But if you plant intentionally, the environment changes. Unfollow accounts that trigger comparison. Mute people who constantly vent but never uplift. Follow creators who educate, entertain, or inspire in a way that aligns with your values. This isn't about living in an echo chamber. It's about protecting your mental bandwidth. It's easy to think that one little follow or one doom scroll session doesn't matter. But over time, they compound. Like junk food for the mind, consuming content that drains you builds up. You might not feel it right away, but it slowly chips away at your mood, your focus, your self-esteem. So ask yourself regularly, is this feeding me or depleting me? Second, set time boundaries. The truth is, these platforms are designed to be addictive. Infinite scroll, likes, autoplay, all engineered to bypass your self-control. So take it back. Set a timer, use app limiters, delete the apps from your phone during certain hours. Better yet, create digital Sabbaths, full evenings or weekends where you disconnect. Stoicism reminds us that self-discipline is freedom. You don't need to go cold turkey. Even 30 intentional minutes online is better than 3 mindless hours. It's not about being anti-tech. It's about being pro-you. Third, reconnect with offline life. Yes, your phone connects you to the world, but your senses, your breath, your body, your surroundings connect you to reality. Go for a walk without earbuds. Talk to a friend face-to-face. Cook, draw, read, garden, anything that pulls you out of the screen and into the now. These aren't just hobbies, they're lifelines. They remind you that joy, connection, and meaning don't come from pixels, they come from presence. Let me share a quick example. A college student named Zoe once told me she realized she spent more time watching other people live than living herself. She was watching travel vlogs while eating microwave dinners, envying strangers while ignoring her own story. One day, she decided to unfollow every account that made her feel small and started documenting her own small moments of joy. Sunsets, coffee shops, little wins. Her life didn't change overnight, but her relationship with her life did. That's the power of mindful consumption. You stop outsourcing your worth. You start reclaiming your narrative. Remember Marcus Aurelius said, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." Social media can be a tool, a teacher, even a source of beauty if you use it with awareness. But when used unconsciously, it becomes a thief of time, joy, and self-trust. So here's your challenge for today. Audit your feeds. Set one boundary for your online time. Do one offline thing that brings you joy. Small steps, but they stack up. Because mindful consumption isn't about restrictions, it's about liberation. It's about building a digital space that respects your peace. Let's take a breath together, in and out. Because in a world that's constantly updating, notifying, alerting, and demanding your attention, it takes real courage to pause. This next part of your journey isn't about control or curation. It's deeper than that. It's about cultivating something rare in today's digital age: inner peace. We're constantly bombarded with the next thing, the next opinion, the next achievement, the next tragedy. And if we're not careful, we mistake this endless stream for reality. But here's a truth the Stoics knew centuries ago, and it still rings louder than ever. Peace doesn't come from the world around you, it comes from within. Let's start with one of Stoicism's most beautiful ideas. Embrace impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. Not trends, not posts, not even our emotions. Epictetus said, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When you see someone's perfect life on Instagram or a viral tweet that makes you angry, stop, breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Most of what we see online is just passing weather. Don't let a storm that isn't yours flood your inner world. And that brings us to mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's noticing. It's choosing to be where you are, not half scrolling through your feed while half listening to your partner. Not waking up and reaching for your phone before you even stretch. It's slowing down long enough to feel your coffee cup in your hand, to hear the birds outside, to breathe before reacting to something online. It's the opposite of what social media trains us to do. And here's the thing, when you practice mindfulness, you regain space. And in that space, you get to choose. Choose your reactions, choose your thoughts, choose your peace. Next, seek wisdom. In a sea of viral noise, wisdom is quiet. It doesn't shout, but it's always there, waiting in books, in long-form podcasts, in conversations with people who have lived more life than you. You don't have to chase every headline or reply to every hot take. You can log off, go outside, pick up Seneca, or listen to something that stretches your thinking instead of shrinks your attention span. Wisdom anchors you when the digital world wants to spin you in circles. Now let's talk practically for a moment. One simple way to cultivate inner peace online is this. Before you open any app, ask, why am I doing this right now? If the answer is boredom, stress, or habit, that's okay. But name it. And if it's not serving you, choose something else. Go for a walk, journal, call someone, breathe. Inner peace isn't a destination, it's a practice. And in a culture that worships speed, choosing stillness is revolutionary. Let me tell you a short story. There's a guy named Malik, a freelance designer from Chicago. He told me that every morning, the first thing he used to do was open Twitter. Just a quick scroll. But 30 minutes later, he'd be in a mental tailspin, mad about politics, comparing himself to other creatives, and starting the day anxious. One week, he made a change. He deleted the app from his phone, put a notebook by his bed, and committed to 5 minutes of journaling each morning instead. The difference? I didn't realize how much noise I was inviting in, he told me. Now my mornings feel mine again. That's the point. You don't need to escape the digital world. You just need to anchor yourself in something deeper, something real. The Stoics didn't hide from chaos. They learned to carry peace within it. So ask yourself, where can I create more stillness in my day? What kind of content makes me feel calm, centered, or inspired? What's one habit I can adopt to invite more mindfulness into my digital life? Maybe it's leaving your phone in another room while you eat. Maybe it's journaling before scrolling. Maybe it's logging off completely for an hour every evening. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be intentional. Because in the end, peace isn't something the world gives you. It's something you grow. And the digital world doesn't have to be the enemy of that. In fact, when used mindfully, it can become part of your path. Let's keep going. We've come a long way from recognizing the trap of endless scrolling, to learning how to control what we consume, to cultivating inner peace amidst the noise. Now let's talk about something powerful. Building a healthy, sustainable relationship with social media. Because here's the truth. Social media itself isn't the problem. It's how we use it that shapes our experience. Imagine social media as a tool, like a hammer. In the right hands, it can build something meaningful. In the wrong hands, it can cause damage. So how do we use this tool wisely? How do we keep social media as a source of connection and inspiration, rather than comparison and stress? First, focus on connection. Remember, behind every profile is a real person with hopes, fears, and stories. Use social media to deepen relationships, not just increase your follower count. Share your authentic self, not just the highlight reel. Comment with kindness. Engage in conversations that matter. Celebrate others' wins and be there in tough times. This kind of genuine connection can combat the loneliness that often hides behind our screens. Second, be mindful of your intentions. Before you post, scroll, or click, ask yourself, why am I here? Is it to escape boredom or to learn something new? To uplift or to criticize? To share joy or to seek validation? Being honest with yourself helps you stay aligned with your values. When your intentions are clear, your social media use becomes purposeful rather than reactive. Third, prioritize your mental well-being. Social media can be a great source of inspiration, but it can also drain your energy. Don't be afraid to disconnect when you need to. Turn off notifications. Take digital detoxes. Remember, your worth isn't measured in likes or shares. Make space for activities that truly fulfill you. Whether that's spending time outdoors, pursuing hobbies, or simply resting. Finally, view social media as part of a bigger picture. It's a tool to enhance your life, not define it. Balance online time with offline experiences. Seek out communities that support your growth and encourage kindness. Building a healthy relationship with social media isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing journey, one that requires patience, self-compassion, and awareness. To close, remember this. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our power, and your relationship with social media is exactly that, within your power. Use it to connect, to inspire, to grow, but never at the cost of your peace. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward mindful social media use. Here's to reclaiming your time, your joy, and your calm in a digital world. If this video sparks something in you, a quiet fire, a moment of stillness, or the courage to take one step closer to who you really are, then you're in the right place. We're building a space for thinkers, dreamers, and doers, for those who seek depth in a world full of noise. If that sounds like you, hit the like button, drop a comment to share your thoughts or your own story. I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to come. See you in the next one.